Okay.
Thank you, fellow Rotarians and guests. Thank you for coming tonight. Today is Tuesday, February the 13th. We appreciate you guys joining us online tonight. And we do have members Howard Berg from Florida, Blake in Texas, Tanya York is here in Texas. Miss Robin is in North Dakota, South Dakota, and Linda and David are on their way back from up north. They are in Texas on their way to their house. Myself is Jerica. We do have a guest visitor here today, Miss Carlissa. She's not new to Rotary, but thank you for joining us today. She joined us at our in-person luncheon back in November. So thank you for coming. All
Oh,
right,
thanks for having me.
thanks. Mr. Blake, could you lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance?
I sure will. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you. If you guys would please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for today and the many blessings that you bestowed on us. Thank you for the magic of Rotary and the folks that we do support and helping hands with. Continue to be with David and Linda as they journey home and be with those Rotarians that are not with us in person. In your name we pray. Amen. All right. Well, you guys, unfortunately, it is 5 after, and our guest is not here. So we are going to skip our guest introduction, and we'll just move over to club announcements. We do have some upcoming events. We have, let me pull up my calendar here. See, for those that are online, we are going to be meeting online on Friday, next Friday, Friday the 23rd at 6 o'clock, same time, same 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're just going to do a Rotary social. We're going to just hang out and celebrate Rotary's birthday and just share why Rotary, why do we like being involved in Rotary, what are some recent activities that everybody's done, what do they want to do, what is their mission by being a Rotarian, what do you want to do? So join us next Friday, 6 p.m. for an online social. Then following that, on Sunday, March the 3rd, we do have an in-person social as well. For those that are in the DFW area, we're going to meet at Southern Recipe on Sunday, March the 3rd at 10 a.m. in Irving. So we'll have a nice little brunch, Sunday brunch. All right. Other announcements. Linda and David went down to the Grand River Valley and met with our other Rotarian partners and government officials. Gave them our funds for our matching district grant, and we will be filing for that report by the end of this week. So that's kind of our big check that we've completed our matching district grant funds for the year. Let's see. Let me see what else I've got. I'm trying to give Miss Linda a couple minutes so she can get settled in, and then she can talk
That's
about.
okay. I'm still in the car.
Oh, okay. Well, Miss Linda's in the car. Miss Linda, I'd like to turn it over to you to share what's going on with
Okay.
you.
Okay. Well, David and I went up to Kirksville, Missouri. Past Rotary International President Ray Smith had passed away in January 17th, and they had a celebration of life for him on Saturday night. I met his daughter, and she said that he planned everything, where it was going to be, who was going to be invited, the meal, the food, everything. It was at the Duckham Inn. It was a bar where they usually met quite often. Uh, we had free food, drinks. It was really nice. Uh, Mark Maloney, Paso High president from Alabama, and his wife Gay were there to represent Rotary International. Uh, we, oh, and, yeah, he bragged on us from coming from Texas, and I was the only one of the Burgundy Brigade, which is our governor here. Ray had installed me as governor. He'd come to Dallas, so that he's a special person to me. And then, anyway, it lasted for about 3 hours. And so then we went on, stayed there that night. Then we went to Branson to spend the night. We have a timeshare there. We got there about 4:30. At 5, they were having a Super Bowl party, free food and drink. So we hurried up and got over there and spent till 11 o'clock, I guess. And I won a bingo prize. It was a football bingo. If you saw like an interception, or it had all these different things that you had. And anyway, I won one of the bingos. Then we gave out 2. And so then we were going to leave, but then on Monday morning, it snowed. So we were snowed in, and so we did not leave there until this morning. So we left Branson this morning about 9 o'clock, and so we're a couple of blocks from my house now. And but we had a great time, met a lot of people that I already knew, met some new people, and that was one of Ray's goals, was to have the fellowship. Also, they were giving out quite a bit of stuff that he had. So if any of y'all want one of his theme ties, I have theme ties I can bring to the meeting. These were originally $150, and anyway, because some of it went to the foundation, but I have them for free. Also, he did a lot with cowboy logic. So I have some of those books about cowboy logic, and so I will bring those to whoever would like one, and whoever's going to be there. And we're pulling into my driveway, so hopefully I'll be connected to my laptop in the next 5 to 6 minutes. So
Super.
I'm going to sign it.
I mean,
I'm going to sign on. What?
I'm amazed, Linda, about you and David. I mean, you guys are like jet setting all over, you know? It's just amazing.
We're not jet setting. We're not jet setting. We're driving.
David's driving. Linda doesn't drive.
David's driving.
Yeah.
But just,
David
I mean,
told
you
me
guys
to
are
do
always, you guys are always on the go, venturing out, so involved. You know, I was telling Andy, my husband, I'm like, when I grow up, I want to be a Linda Elliott, you know?
Well, David owns the wheel, and I tell him how to drive.
There you go. Hey, perfect marriage, right? That's awesome.
And give me about 5 minutes, and I'll be in the house.
Perfect.
And okay.
Sounds good. Well, since Joseph is not here as our guest speaker, Miss Tanya, I don't want to put you on the spot, but would you be willing to kind of share a little bit about yourself and why Rotary? No. Yes, no, her phone's not coming up on you. Okay, yeah. Well, thank you. I'm so glad to see you today. Miss Robin, you've got baby coming out February the 20th, right?
Yes, I was just going to ask Linda and David if they were going to come see me.
Oh,
I'm going to go all over, but I'm like, I'm not going to push it. We don't got snow. Huh?
In 2025, the International Convention will be in Calgary, and we may come see you in Dan.
Well, that'd be awesome. I would appreciate it, yeah. I just thought, like, you're going all over. I'm like, I agree with Jerica. I want to be Linda, where I'm traveling all over, but I also want to be like Howard, where I know lots of people, but I'm not that famous. Like, what
You don't want to be John Lennon.
A little bit of both. Huh?
You don't want to be John Lennon. He was too famous.
No. But I totally got, like, what you were saying. I'm like, yeah.
Russell Brunson was telling me how, because he's very famous in his group, but he says, I'll go to the grocery, no one knows who the hell I am. He says, that's how I like it. He says,
that's what I want to be.
Yeah.
Yes. I desire that.
How are you and the baby doing in this last couple weeks?
No, next week. Next Tuesday.
Jeez.
He has not dropped down at all. And I was thinking about Howard since last week. Or last time we were on, because he said about visualization, like doing a lot of the meditation, and I was like, that's what I need to do. I need to start visualizing this baby has dropped so I can eat and so I can sleep.
Now,
He hasn't dropped at all. It's miserable.
do you have a scheduled C-section, or like do they?
Yeah, it's a scheduled one.
Yeah.
And my body's already been like tightening up because it's like it knows like what's
It's about to work. It's about to work. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, okay, I just gotta calm down. It'll be just fine. I've done this 6 other times. I can do this again. It's not that big a deal.
Not that big of a deal. Oh. Well, how exciting! Will you please like text us so we can share it, if you don't mind? I mean, I don't know if you put that stuff on social media or not, but
I don't for the children unless their faces are blurred.
That's like, but can we? I mean, can we share it by email?
Oh yeah, if I send it private message, I'm fine with that. I just don't want everybody to see my kids.
Yeah. No worries. Well, we can send it out via email.
Yeah, email. Yeah, I have no problem with that one.
We would like to do that.
Kids are cute.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Oh, anything else you want to share?
Me? Like anybody else.
I'm just giving you the floor.
I'm trying to think. I was actually wondering. Oh, Linda, were you gonna say something?
I was going to ask Carlissa if she could say a few words. She used to be in Rotary several years ago.
Oh, we'll let Robin finish first.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I was actually wondering, like, for the Rotary, because I know, like, I have made a couple posts on Facebook about it. I was wondering, is that open to everybody? Because I was thinking about inviting some of the people I know that may be good for the club, that are
Absolutely.
similar.
Absolutely. We want to grow our membership. So yeah, refer a friend and send them our Facebook page, send them our website, invite them to a meeting. Yeah, we would love that. We definitely want to grow our membership.
Okay, that helps out a lot because I know that's one of the things I was thinking of and wanting to be able to do, and I thought, well, I didn't know if there was a certain protocol that had to be done. Jerica, you moved. She's off now. Okay, Linda's on.
I'm on. What, did I knock Jerica off?
I think so. Jerica's gone. Oh, now she's back. This reminds me of the Brady Bunch.
I got kicked off. There we go.
I'm sorry.
No worries. Yeah, but that's okay. I'm here.
No, I feel like we were the Brady Bunch. We were just moving a bunch of squares. Yes. The odd thing is, so fun fact, the college I went to school for hypnotherapy, it's George Kappas, no, that's his son. Anyways, I can't remember now off the top of my head. Brain just not there. His George Kappas, the one that's running the college, his dad was married to Florence Henderson. So Florence Henderson wrote the foreword in Success is Not an Accident for the Mental Bank. And she attended Florence Henderson before she became the Brady Bunch mom. She actually attended the exact same college I did. So that's a fun fact. That's why like these squares remind me of that.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, thank you for sharing, Miss Robin. Miss Carlissa.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Carlissa Puckett. I moved to Fort Worth in July of 2019 from Central Illinois, and I joined Rotary in Springfield, Illinois in 1993. And actually, I joined because it was a requirement of a new position that I had, although I loved Rotary and became very involved. And I retired from that position in 2013 and moved back to my hometown and then joined the Rotary Club there and was a member until I moved down here in 2019. So, and I moved down here just before COVID, or I probably would have gotten involved in Rotary even after I moved here. But anyway, I loved Rotary, served as a club president, served at the district level doing some things. So Rotary was a great experience. And in terms of profession, I worked for 45 years in the field of intellectual and developmental disabilities. So that's pretty much my professional and career background.
So what's
Carlos,
the
did you go
reasoning
to-
for moving to Texas?
My daughter and two of my grandchildren were down here, and my youngest son, who flies drones in the Middle East and is gone most of the time, had his dad and I were gonna buy a house down here with him, and he ended up getting married after we had started looking for houses down here and stuff. And so my daughter said, well, why don't we buy a house together? So we bought a house with our daughter, and then subsequently my husband passed away. So it's my daughter and my granddaughter and I. So
Well, so sorry for your loss.
well, thank you.
That's fun that the girls are running the roost.
Yes, they are.
Carlissa went to a district meeting, I think it was during Beverly Grogan's year, and Ian Risley was here from Australia. And so they went out to a dinner and met Ian Risley. And
Nice.
so
how do you know Miss Linda?
Through a sorority that we belong to, or a philanthropic organization, Epsilon Sigma Alpha, and the local chapter in Grand Prairie is Alpha Gamma. I have to try to remember the names between my one in Illinois and here. So.
Well, super. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and I hope you'll consider joining us as a member. We'd love to have you.
Well, Linda's been trying. She's been trying, but I travel a lot, and so I was kind of hesitant about joining because I'm gone so often. But it seems like right now things have settled down a little bit. So,
well, there's no attendance requirement. We record our sessions and put them out there on YouTube, so you're welcome to just join when you want to, participate at whatever level you feel comfortable at. We just keep our members informed of our activities and just invite you to participate.
And we record it so you can watch it later if you want to watch the meeting after.
Thanks. Because when I initially joined, there was that minimum attendance thing.
Yes.
It was enforced a lot.
Yeah. Oh, no, we're pretty simple.
well, I do have perfect attendance, and I celebrated my 34th year in Rotary on February the 1st.
Congratulations!
Wow. Yes.
That's awesome.
And I had visited over 200 clubs worldwide.
Oh,
my
wow.
goodness.
That's great.
That's crazy.
I did get to go to the international convention in Singapore one time.
Oh,
So
wow.
an art club.
That's what's going to be this year.
It is?
Uh-huh.
Our club sent the club president each year, and actually it wasn't my turn to be president. I was supposed to be president the following year, and the convention was going to be in Indianapolis, just a couple 100 miles from home. And so the gentleman whose year was actually, it was his turn, stepped aside and let me be president so I could go to Singapore. So really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Well, my year as president, I got to go to San Antonio. But it was a good one.
So, yeah, it's a great experience.
I've been to 19 of them now.
Oh, wow.
And next year, after Singapore, it's going to be in Calgary. After that, it's going to be in Hawaii. And then it's Taipei. And then it's, who is it going to be after that? It's, Indianapolis or Minneapolis, I think.
Okay. Interesting. All right, Mr. Blake. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Things are going well for me. We're getting ready for our Envision Dallas golf tournament. We call it Golf for Vision. And it's really exciting. April 22nd at Cowboys. And it makes it a little bit expensive, but the day is really, really rich with, just good friends and people that really care about the mission. So if you know any single golfers, it's $500, but you get 2 meals out of it, food and drinks all day long. And Too Tall Jones, our friend Ed Too Tall Jones, will be there with his friends. He's always a delight to be around. So that'd be a hoot to have you if you're, in the Grapevine area, if
Do
you
you
want to
have,
participate.
do you need any volunteers?
You know what? That's a good question. We probably do.
Let us know. When's it
Okay.
gonna be?
It'll be Monday, April 22nd, and
Okay.
tea time 1:30 p.m. after lunch. So it's later in the day, and then we're done by 6 or so, 6:30. On the dinner. Which, if you volunteer, you're welcome to eat with us, and I think you'd really have a good time, Linda.
Well, let us know if you need volunteers.
Okay, pretty close to you.
Okay.
Perfect. And how's Miss Jennifer doing?
Oh, she's doing good. She's behaving herself, and we're doing well. We're healthy this year. Haven't gotten any bad colds or flu, anything like that at all.
Oh, super. That's great. Great. And I saw recently Envision hosted a dance event.
Yeah, we have Dancing in the Dark, which is once a month, but recently was Valentine's. So we had a
Uh,
special edition of that and a meal with it, and so that's fun to see people who are blind get together and dance in the dark. And we've got a guy that can see a little bit. He's visually impaired, but partially sighted, and he teaches, and he's very good. He's actually a real bright guy with his doctorate, lost his sight later in life, and he was an inventor and just a brilliant guy. But he said, Blake, can I have dance lessons over here? And I said, sure. Let me help you get it going. And he's kept it up for a while, and they usually have a dozen or so people attending.
that's awesome. That's really awesome.
And also,
you
the Envision has been on the Today Show, and then Lester Holt has had it.
Yeah.
And so they've been nationally recognized.
Yeah, thank you. I'm real grateful for that.
And I think you can still see it. It's on there is a page that Blake put out that you can go back and see it.
Yeah, it's on my website as well, the blakelindsay.com website
Okay.
on the homepage.
Well, I've never checked out your website. I'm going to do that.
Oh, and don't forget today's Fat Tuesday.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, look,
Happy
you
Fat
are so
Tuesday.
together.
They gave us beads at the condo this morning.
Oh, that's so nice. Anything else top of mind, Mr. Blake?
No, that's it. Thank you
Well,
very
thank you
much.
for sharing.
Everything's
Thanks.
going good. I'm excited to be a part of Rotary, and it's only been a few months, and I feel very connected to family, and I have a great memory of Babes when we went out there to
Yes,
Frisco.
yes.
Such a good time, and so that was a big memory for Jennifer and I both.
Well, good, good. Glad to have you. Mr. Howard, share what's going on with you.
I had to get my mic on. I've been making some new programs, so it's keeping me busy, and I'm working with a company in England to start working in Europe and Asia, so that's kind of fun. And I'm doing some recording in Tampa this weekend with another group, and we have a program for kids that someone else is working on with me. And that's what I've been doing, mostly recording, editing, things like that. It takes a lot of time. Editing is a lot of work. For every hour you record, it's about 6 to 8 hours to edit.
I've been seeing a lot of Facebook posts for you and your program.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. I have a program. You want to know about this? It's copy and content, and what it does is it writes all your copy. It'll write a book for you from scratch, the entire book using AI, and you can actually guide it. It'll make products and programs. So I'm doing 31 blog posts at 2,000 words each in less than an hour.
Oh
and
my
then,
gosh.
and it's also giving me the scripts for the videos and what to put in it and how to make it. It'll do all your advertising on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. It'll write everything from scratch. It'll do give you headlines. It'll give you taglines. It'll do all your email marketing and all your follow-up emails and what your office should be. It tells you what products you should be making at different levels to maximize your productivity. It's all on autopilot. and it's a really good program. It's about $90 a month, which isn't cheap, but it's cheaper than hiring someone to do all those
Would
things
you
for
be
you.
interested? I know you don't endorse the company or represent them, but would you be interested in being a program speaker one day and sharing?
I could ask him. He's pretty successful. He's Russell Brunson's business partner. So if you're familiar, I mean, Russell made $3 million in 90 minutes on stage.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, he's
Well, maybe you
really
can
good.
share.
I could do a program if you want me to speak. I could show you the program as a presentation and create stuff. You could give me what you want me to say. But basically, what it works around is very interesting. The very first thing you need to do is create an avatar. Who are you marketing to? So I have one for students. I have one for business people. One for different memory. One for reading. One for writing. One for math. The problems and pains and concerns of each niche is very different. So the first thing when you're doing copy, it has to target that person and what moves them, what makes them feel like if you could do this for me, my life would be so much better. So I just lost my leg with a chainsaw and you're going to put it back on in 3 seconds with no pain. I want it because...
Can you put the website in the chat box for me?
Yeah, give me a second. I have to go online.
I know who Howard's talking about.
Yes, Jim Edwards. Jim Edwards. In fact, I
Oh,
owe it to Robin. I got to tell you, I owe this to Robin. Robin invited me to meet her, and Jim knows me very well because I'm friends with Russell, and he and I met through Russell, and he gave me the program as a gift in exchange for a testimonial. Considering it's $1,000 a year, I was glad to do it, but I'll be honest with you, the program is amazing. It's worth every penny.
Well, I'm going to go check it out.
If you're in business,
$97 a month, and it is worth it.
it's worth
I'm just
it.
not as up there with Howard on the reading quite yet.
But it's
So
amazing.
I get through it, but it's amazing. It spit out a whole fertility program for me. I just had to fill out a few questions, and it literally spit out the whole program for me. Did it all, and I was like,
Yeah.
I did all this other work, and it did less than 2 minutes.
Hours of work in seconds. If you do any networking online or business, if you want to write a book, it'll write the whole book. It'll do the contents, the dedication, the frequently asked questions. It'll do every single chapter, the index, the glossary, and it'll do it all on autopilot. But it's actually your book because if you look at the template, you're telling it what you want it to do and what you want it to say. But if you have any kind of a business where writing plays any role at all, any marketing at all, this program will do all the work. It does a lot of heavy lifting
I'm
in
going
a
to check
very...
that out. I mean, that would really help my husband's business. He's a realtor and...
Oh, God,
Kind of
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and it includes all these trainings on how to use the internet to make money. Like how to use this program to successfully market whatever niche. Now, your husband, what he should do is make a book, about 40, 60-page book on how to get the best house or how to get the best apartment and give it away. Give it away so he gets a big list of people who are interested in buying houses and renting apartments for free. And now he uses the list, and when they're ready to buy a house or rent an apartment, they're going to go to the guy who wrote the book.
Right. That's a great idea.
That's how you do it. And it builds a list, right? I'm going to probably do one on how to speed learn and give it away. And then in exchange, you give me your information. And if they have the problem and I can solve it, eventually they'll buy something. They may not buy today or tomorrow, but when their kid's flunking out of college and they're like, what are we going to do if we don't... I just tutored this kid in India, and his work was so high school work. I took 2 years of chemistry in college. We never had problems as complicated as he had in high school. Never. Organic, inorganic chem. I had algebra, advanced algebra, geometry, trigonometry, calculus, and statistics. The math he was doing in high school was above anything I saw in college. In the courses, in the courses. And this is a high school kid in India. That's what our kids are competing with. But it was very interesting to look at what they're doing. But this program will help you to become a much more successful marketer if you have any kind of business at all, or if you ever wanted to write a book about your life or your experiences, and you said it's too much work. You could have this book done in less than a week, one or 2 weeks. You'd have a 15, 20 page, 20 chapter book written cover to cover with the pictures.
That's awesome. I'm going to check that out.
I'll do that one night. I'll sign up to teach it, and
Yeah,
I'll demo it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a slot in May.
Okay. Put me in.
Okay.
My email's Mr. Reader. You know my email, and just
Yeah.
put me in, and I'll just and then I'll let you guys like fill in the blanks, and then I'll push a button, and it'll do articles, it'll do blog, it'll do lists, tips, lists. You can't even begin to imagine how many things right, Robin? It does everything you can conceive of. Bullet points, hot buttons, what your upsell should be, the copy, the emails that you need to send out to market it, the web page. It does the page, the whole entire landing page from scratch. It prints out the entire landing page, and then all the emails that you need to send before you sell it, after you sell it, and while you're selling it, all on autopilot.
Will it make me a list of things for David to do?
Yes, it will. Believe it, it does. It does.
would. That program is amazing. It really is. I just struggle because I get overwhelmed of like where to start.
What I did is I went through every one of them, and it has a thing that you push a button and it fills it in for you, just to see what it gives you. And then once you've seen what it does, then when you need it, one of them does a haiku. It'll do a haiku. Another one does metaphors. If you wanted to, like, the elevator speech that everyone's told,
Yes,
it writes your elevator speech for you instantly. And if you don't like it, you push a button, it writes another one and another one until you get the one it does unbelievable things and super fast. Even acronyms, like you put down speed reading, so it'll go the letter S and what that means in speed reading jargon, and then P, and it goes through every letter and tells you what it, and it makes an acronym out of the word. It's just incredible what it'll do. It does about 120 things. Does that sound right, Robin? Somewhere?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably over 120 things that it does. And then I know like what I like it for is that I asked Jim about doing one for like a picture, because I'm like, sometimes I don't know what to use for a picture, like when you're doing social media posts. And so he made a wizard, or not a wizard, but a genie just for that. So you type in like what you're looking for, and it'll tell you a couple of pictures that would work with whatever it is that you typed in.
And you're able to use them. It's not copyrighted?
And yes, it's yours. It's yours.
It's yours.
And you can set it up. What level do you want the speech to be at? And then there's famous copywriters, like 10 of them. Which one do you want writing your copy? And it imitates like all the famous copywriters in history. And then you could put, do you want it to sound like the Times or the Inquirer or Reader's Digest or Psychology Today? And do you want it concise? Do you want it elaborate? Do you want it academic? It's got lists like this long for each thing, and you can customize the level and what you want it to say. And if you just change one or two things, writes the next one completely differently. Over and over and over
I like
again.
the Cosmo magazine.
Cosmo.
The best for my audience. I think that one's the funniest because I'm like, I have that, and then you can also do it on the disc style. So if you know the disc styles, that's the dominance, influencer, steady and secure, or the correct and compliance.
Yes.
So you can choose what one you want to
For your
also
audience, for your
that
avatar.
audience.
Okay.
and it tells you what one to write for them. So
Yes.
whatever your audience is, it says this audience needs a dominant style. This one needs a different, and it tells you which one to use. It does everything. It's amazing.
I'm interested to learn more. So thank you for sharing that. That's very, very cool. Wow.
Oh, I have another comment. One of Ray's things was to meet other people at the memorial and to share stories and all that. Well, I met a gentleman who was Pat Mahomes' coach when he was a sophomore in high school. So he said he's partially responsible. And then David and I stopped at this place. David was in Oklahoma or was in Arkansas. David, he doesn't know. Okay. Anyway, we were talking. There's these newspapers about this guy that was a bank robber, whatever, but he was well known.
Pretty
And,
boy Floyd.
what was it?
Pretty boy Floyd.
Yeah, Pretty Boy Floyd.
Bank robber.
And
Movie.
yeah, and there's a movie about him, but he's from that town. And this guy is the uncle, and then the brother of the pretty boy, he was the sheriff. And so that dichotomy there.
Oh.
And then when he was shot, the FBI got involved because he was robbing banks. And one of the things he would do after he'd rob a bank, he'd take all the papers and put them out in the street and burn them. So then nobody had any record of any mortgages or anything. So everybody's house then was basically paid for.
Oh.
And then the lady that turned him in, there's a $5,000 reward. Well, they told him, you won't live to see that reward, if you take it. And sure enough, he had been shot. No, he ran into this lady's house because he had been shot. And then she called the FBI. Well, he crawled under the house, and they shot him from under the house or wherever. But anyway, she never collected the reward. But she did go to prison, I think, and somebody else. Oh, his grandfather helped him drive the getaway car, so he was sent to prison for a year, but he only served 6 months. And these people are buried there in this little town. And one of the things that Pretty Boy liked was corn. And so people would come over and take a thing of dirt off the gravesite and to plant a corn seed, so they would have corn. So about every month he has to go over and replace the dirt on top of the grave because so many people have dug it out so they could plant corn.
But
And
he was a criminal.
yeah, but he was well loved in that town. Like I
He
said,
gave them food. Like he donated food at Thanksgiving. He
Yeah.
did. He
So,
took the money he was Robin Hood. He took the money from the banks, but he gave a lot of it to people.
Okay.
Robin Hood, huh?
yeah.
That's when they
But
were
it was
that's when they
interesting. Here we-
foreclosed on all the farms.
Yeah, but here we were sitting in this little diner. It was just a last minute thing. We couldn't find one of the other, whatever it was we were looking for. So I said, oh, let's go to this diner. And so the guy then sitting next to us, and we were looking, and so he started talking to us and everything. And so here we spent 45 minutes, I think, talking to him, and that's why we're late. So anyway, but we've met some interesting people on this trip.
They had movie posters all over the restaurant.
Yeah, there's posters, everything. But anyway, Pretty Boy Floyd. And
Interesting.
so anyway, but that was another thing we did. And anyway,
I apologize, but I need to leave, but I had an opportunity to join you guys for a while.
thank you.
So thank
Thanks
you
for
very much.
coming.
Hopefully I can join you again.
And
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
available
Yes.
on March the 3rd, that Sunday morning at 10, come on over to Irving and have breakfast with us.
Okay, I'll follow up with you.
Okay.
Thanks, Charlisa.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Well, it is close to the top of the
Okay,
hour.
well, Blake, I want to ask Blake, are you going to be able to come over to that breakfast on the 3rd?
Well, we usually go to church, and so we can maybe, go to a different service that day or something. We'll
Okay.
see if we can do that, maybe bump it up till later. There's a 9:30 and 11:15
Oh.
service, so
Okay, well, we're gonna eat around 10, but it may be a little bit later when we'll be there for a couple of hours.
Okay.
But also, do you wear neckties?
Yeah, I
Okay.
sometimes.
Well, I have a
It's
necktie.
not
Like
a
I said,
deal for you.
Ray Smith has all these ties that were left. They had 6 boxes. She said if I need 50 of them, she'd send them to me. But I have about a dozen or more. And so I will bring that and also give you one of the books, the Cowboy Logic.
Oh, okay.
Like, don't sit down, don't squat with your spurs on, things like that.
Well, I'm
And,
glad y'all have fun, safe travels. That's good.
okay.
One of the mementos they had was a almost white resistol cowboy hat, which I've recognized because I bought that for Ray and gave it.
And if you look on my Facebook page, I have, for even our website for Rotary, I have pictures from the event that evening. So,
Wow. Super. Super. All right. Well, let's go ahead and close this out with the Rotarians four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it
Is
the
it
is
the
it the
truth?
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 Second, is it
Fair
fair
to
to
all
all
concerned?
concerned? Third, will it
Will
build
build
goodwill
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 and
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 better
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 friendships?
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 Fourth, will
Will
it be
it be
beneficial to
beneficial
To
all
all
concerned?
concerned.
And fifth, will it
Will
be
it be
fun?
fun?
Thank you guys for joining us this Tuesday night, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, and Howard, if this guy signs up again, don't let him.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that whenever they don't show and don't notice, don't let us know, that we should say, I'm sorry, you know,
It's
we
pretty
can't.
unprofessional.
You had
And
your
I've had
chance.
times I had to reschedule, but I let people know enough in
Right.
advance at this
Right.
time to find someone else.
And so anyway, okay, we've got to go unpack the car.